Chair. Thank you. Again, Madam Chair, thank you for this hearing. Mr. Gosar, thank you for holding this hearing. And I want to welcome our witnesses, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the gentle lady who I understand resides in Arkansas. I want to also express my condolences for this horrible suffering that the Marshallese people had in COVID when they were COVID first experienced. I know that a large part of your population throughout the country experienced COVID. I'm going to ask my questions. First to Mr. Mori, Secretary Mori. You say that pursuant to the terms of the Compact of Free Association, the Republic of the Marshall Islands bears full responsibility for maintaining and monitoring the Dome and Runit Island. What provision of the compact says that?
Sir, with your permission, I'd like to take that for the record. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Oh, that was your statement, Mr. Murray.
I'm sorry, you didn't hear me?
No, I said, but that's what you say. So my question is, what part of the compact says that?
I do not know off the top of my head. I don't have that information.
Well, so who's the original source of the information on which you base your assertion that the Marshall Islands bears full responsibility for maintaining the Dome and the Runit Island
That is a historical information that has been provided to me as the implementer of these programs.
Do they work for the State Department, may I ask?
I do not know the answer to that question, sir.
All right. I'm going to turn to Mr. Pula. Well, Nick, Mr. Pula, welcome back to the committee. You also testified that Section 177 of the RMI Compact included a full settlement of all claims, past, present, and future, arising from or in any way related to the U.S. testing program, end quote. That, of course, refers to legal claims. It does not mean that the Marshallese people cannot request additional measures warranted by consequences of the United States using the islands while they were a territory and ministered in trust for the UN, for U.S., for nuclear test purposes. You yourself also told the subcommittee that Section 105C2 of the laws that approved, added to, and effectively modified the compact authorized appropriations for health and education as a result of exceptional circumstances and ex gratia contributions for the populations of Bikini and Enewetak, Langelak, and Utirik. So did the United States also, however, promise in Article 9 of the agreement under Section 177 that the Marshall Islands may request additional compensation for losses or injuries caused by or related to U.S. nuclear bomb testing that could not reasonably be identified at the time of the 177 agreement 35 years ago, and that the U.S. would duly consider such requests, Nick?
I agree with the statement by Member Sablan in terms of Section 177. That's the law that was approved by Congress that has that language that refers to that. However, as some have mentioned, or including perhaps in my testimony, even after that, there are two things that we need to remember. One is that there is a changed circumstances that also kind of follows the Section 177 of the full and final settlement. And then Congress, in its decision-making, also provided more assistance after 1986 to some of these atolls. And therefore, that's ex gratia. And I just want to make mention, and those things are both in the Congress that they approved And as we execute the laws, and that's what we do.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pula. Madam Chair, I will have questions to submit for the record, but I just want to say this, if I last words, because despite what Mr. Pula said, no negotiating sessions last year at a principal or technical level. This is for the renewal of the compact agreement. There's no discussion of a meeting in the next couple of weeks or at any time planned. There were meetings preliminary to the negotiations on current compact issues and on a confidentiality proposal from the U.S. last year that would have prevented the Republic of the Marshall Islands from talking to Congress or the other freely associated states. Never a negotiating session on issues, and the State and Interior has not agreed to the Republic of Marshall Islands request to discuss the scope and agenda for the motivation. So I just would like to put that into the record, and I will submit additional questions. Thank you, QFRs. Madam Chair, thank you very much for allowing me to sit in with this hearing. I will be jumping back and forth between the markup, but I'm very grateful that we have this hearing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Sablan. And we may be able to accommodate a second round of questioning if you're able to rejoin us.
Yes.
I appreciate your comments at the close of your questioning, and I hope to be able to return and direct those in the form of questions to our witnesses. The chair